So we're now talking with Arsenio Dominguez, the Secretary-General-elect for the International Maritime Organization. Welcome. I'm going to start the interview by asking how your leadership of the IMO will be different from your predecessor.
Thank you, Michelle. Nice opportunity to be here talking to you again. Of course, when it comes to the leadership, we all bring different things. So it's not for me to compare with the previous Secretary Generals, but I have learned from them as well and I have worked together with them. What I bring is, I feel, a new energy into the organization. I have the experience from being from a very large flag state, but also that deals with aspects related to coastal state, flag state, and port state. So I was a delegate for a long time on the Maritime, for the Panama Maritime Authority. I was also chair of the Marine Environmental Protection Committee. So I have experience in managing difficult conversations. And of course, it's that engagement with every single player in the shipping industry. Goes from the NGOs, the IGOs, that represents different views, because we're not just about the environment, we're also safety, we're security, we're liability, and we actually have to bring everybody together to continue to move forward.
You certainly have been circulating widely and meeting all your stakeholder base during London International Shipping Week. But once you take up the position next year, what will your priorities be?
When it comes to the work of the organization, of course, the environmental agenda is top together with the human element, because they have to go together. We need to actually tap on and just get that momentum that we built with the unanimous adoption of the revised 2023 GHG strategy. From there, we need to link, and that's what I would like to do, to link those very established connections between the autonomous agenda, the green agenda, and the human element agenda, because we're going to progress together on all three fronts, and that would actually make for a more truly sustainable shipping industry. The other thing is visibility. As you said, I'm very happy participating in all these events because we need to put shipping industry, IMO, and all the key players out there. People need to, we need to help them understand what we are, who we are, what we actually achieve, what we serve to the world, but also to listen to the comments and the concerns. We can learn from that. And this is the only way that we're actually going to become a better organization, someone that is more inclusive, that is more diverse, and that will attract actually the new generation that are the ones that are going to pick it up from us later on.
So the IMO, or the International Maritime Organization, is well understood within the shipping, but not so well understood, as you said, outside. How can you improve the visibility? Do you have any sort of plans or thoughts about how you can raise the profile so people understand the role of shipping?
First, with the work. So if we take the environmental agenda, for example, there's other parts of the sectors. For example, the energy sector that we need to work better with, and they need to understand each other. If you go to the human element, it's the migration, and we actually, and all the health organizations. I learned that during the COVID pandemic, where some of the other agencies were actually not that familiar with the work that we do as another specialized agency of the United Nations. So it's that visibility. And of course, I'm also open to opinions and to advise in this respect, because I won't have all the answers, but by working together, including with the media, we will be able to reach out to that part of the population, to tap on outside the maritime sector, for those that also are going to contribute to everything that we do to decarbonize and to make this sector that serves the whole world a more sustainable one.
We've talked a lot about the environment, but of course the one sector that's been overlooked, and you alluded to it before, was the autonomous sector. I mean, that's sort of the sleeper issue, really, isn't it? That's also going through the IMO at the moment. What sort of changes should we be expecting there?
We're just not getting the visibility as we do with topics like the environment, but there's a lot of work that is going on there. The first part is normally, we have to do an assessment of the regulations right now. Then, of course, is the legal aspects of how we're going to interpret what we mean by autonomous ships and how it's going to actually function in relation to safety, security. Because those are the areas that, as well, we have to be very careful when it talks into security. Everybody talks about AI and how it's going to help us, but it brings its risks as well. So again, we go back to the work, it's ongoing, it hasn't stopped, not even during COVID, it's just how we promote all that work further.
So we're talking about opening up the IMO to the public and to have more visibility and awareness. That, of course, applies to digitalisation as well, and the role that that can play in shipping, and also at the IMO. So can you expand on your plans to digitalise shipping via the IMO?
First, we need to look inwards, and I think that we have to improve our IT services as well. We need to lead by example. Then learn from the industries, those early movers that are also utilizing digitalization to improve the performance of the fleet, the operations of the vessel, etc. Bring that to the organization together with the revision of the high-level guidelines that we have on cybersecurity, in order that we move in parallel and connect that as well with the autonomous agenda. Because again, rather than working in separate areas or different pillars, we can actually start bringing them together to get the same outcome, which is a digitalized shipping industry that is going to be greener, that is going to be more efficient, that will be safer as well, and it will be, as everybody expects, properly sustainable.
Well, you do collect a lot of data. I mean, we have the energy efficiency data, which is currently being collected. How can that work with autonomous shipping and the human element in order to improve shipping across the board in terms of regulatory, improved regulatory outcomes, as well as for the seafarers?
Learning curve, and it's how we use the data better that we have there. And I want to work with a secretariat that is quite proactive, that is going to prepare this analysis in order for the member states to be further assisted when they actually embark on the decision-making process. And this is where, again, with other sectors that provide that data, is what we can learn from them. We don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. We can also tap on what others have done that we have not been there at that time or that we have not considered, and see how we can integrate it. And as you said, we have tons of data of the organization. Is how we use it, how we distill the data in order to support specific branches of work that we're carrying out.
Well, plenty of challenges ahead, and we look forward to you taking up the role and evolving this IMO.
Thank you very much, and I welcome you also to continue working with us.